Perfect. Welcome to Dirty Fanatics.
Falcon fans, you are watching Dirty Fanatics United coming at you live on a Friday night. As always, it is episode 75, 3/4 of the way to 100, man. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. We talking Falcon football. As always, I'm your host, Chase, followed by my co-host, Philip, and the man, Cody Keeler. Brothers, what's been going on, man? It feels like it's been a month since we've been on the channel talking Falcon football. Guys, how we doing?
Man, I'm blessed. Can't say nothing else. You know what I mean? That's the main thing. You feel me? Here back for another Friday. That's great to me. You know what I mean? We're just here to talk about football.
Talking Falcon football is what we do best. We got a lot of skills and traits, but talking Falcon football is what these boys here know at DFU. Cody, what's been going on, man? Busy schedule for me. I'm sure it's been the same for you. Cody, what's going on, brother?
Yeah, man, just doing work like we always do, putting in that work, 40-plus hours a week. But here we are, talk Falcon football. So it's always, like I say, it's always great to come take a break from life and come talk Dirty Bird football.
Man, I would say it is a pleasure to have my two co-hosts here with me tonight, man, to talk some Falcon football. Been a slow offseason. We all know this as fans. But, guys, football is right around the corner. As the title of the night is, the countdown begins. Falcon fans, we're less than 50 days away from the first NFL kickoff game, and Dirty Fanatics United will probably be live, even though it won't be the Falcons plan. We're going to break down the live event here on the channel, talking Falcon football. Some breaking news, man, not really breaking news. August the 2nd, right around the corner, Falcons' first look. Can't wait to be there. DFU is in the building. Tickets are already in the ticket master here on the phone. Philip, I'm sure you and the Pops is going to head up there. I know Cody's there. He stays in the A. Repping the Falcons, man. Dirty Fanatics United will be live at the Benz, bringing you some Home Depot backyard light podcast with the boys, man. It's going to be lit in the Benz. Be sure to hit up Dirty Fanatics United if you're going to be there, man. We'll chat with you, get some interviews, meet the fans, and just communicate. Philip, Cody, with that being said, what are we looking forward to when it comes to this first season look, first practice, open to the public in the Benz? It's always a lit event when it comes to the Falcons in the stadium. You get to sit back, watch your team. This new, as I say, team, but this new team, man. We got a new offensive coordinator, new DC, a lot of nice draft picks when it comes to the defense of the ball. Rook Ohurohu, Brandon Dolores, a lot of guys that we can sit here and go through. Even some vets that are returning second-year players as well that we are looking forward to seeing. Philip, what is the first takeaway that you take from August the 2nd when you walk into the Benz?
My main thing is I'm excited to see, curious. It's just how the defensive line is going to, just watching them go up against, obviously it's going, for a fact every year they do like a, offense versus defense type deal. So I'm ready to see how the defensive line and defense in general, just how they, how they take on, this new defensive coordinator. Right. We were top 10 last year defense wise, but I'm just ready to see with the changes, and the upgrades, that we did, like these great picks, young picks that we have. Ready to see how that, gets in there, just, break down everything that pretty much see if we can, upgrade from what we were last year, you know what I mean? So
100%. D-line is a very, very solid topic to talk about. We will hit on that tonight here on the channel. Other spots to look at. Cody, I know you have your eyes on possibly the O-line, speaking to our former offensive lineman here. Cody, what are you looking forward to when it comes to August the 2nd? Just walking back in the Benz, feeling that atmosphere, back at our second home, repping the Dirty Birds. Everybody's in red and black. There's no opponent in the building. It's a good vibe when it comes to the open practice in the Benz. Cody, what are you expecting August the 2nd?
Yeah, man. No, August 2nd practice. I guess it's not always August 2nd, but practice at the Benz is always great to go to, always great atmosphere. My big thing is, yes, of course, the offensive line, see how they're gelling together, how they're holding up. But my big thing is going to be, what does Kirk Cousins look like throwing the ball to his wide receivers? I want to see if that timing's down, if that chemistry's there, if, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. It obviously always starts up at the offensive line because we start with the ball as the, offensive line. It always starts with us. But my big thing is let's see how far Kirk Cousins and this offense has come in the time that they've had with each other to practice. From things that you see on social media and things that you see on, videos, on Falcons.com and stuff like that, everything looks good. So now it'll be interesting to see a full practice where everybody's going and seeing that timing. Are they, putting, getting to see the work that they put in to see if this offense can gel. Now, again, we all understand that it takes the offense a little bit of time to start clicking, especially with the, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback, new wide receivers, new all that stuff. So it's going to take time. But looking at practice and looking at that stuff is really going to tell us where this team is headed offensively. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Cody and Philip with the solid answers when it comes to the August the 2nd open practice in the Benz. DFU is in the building, people. Get there early because I want to get some interviews in, man. I don't know about you guys, but you diehard DFU fans that tune in every Friday night, whether it's a pop-up show, whether it's just a short, all these people that interact, man, I know they're going to be at the Benz, and it'd be a pleasure for DFU to get the chance to talk with these guys, see what they're excited about when it comes to this Falcon season. Speaking on what you two guys spoke about, I'll give you my look when it comes to August the 2nd, and that is just being back at the Benz. It's been since, I believe, my last game last year at the Benz. I don't even remember, man. It's just been so crazy this offseason. The Colts. Watch the Falcons beat down the Colts in the Benz was a wonderful feeling. And like I said, there's no opponent in the building. It's nothing but Falcon family. That's all that's going to be there is Falcon fans. No opponent in the building. But yes, Cody, watching Kirk Cousins throw to these receivers, seeing who could possibly be receiver 2, definitely getting my eye on Michael Penix Jr., seeing what this young rookie has. I'm hearing the hype about the deep ball. I'm hearing the hype about the accuracy. I'm also hearing the downfall of the consistency. I want to see this in person. I want to see what these reporters are reporting about. Another position that I'm definitely heavily on is going to be cornerback 2. I want to see what Clark Phillips III brings to the table. I want to see if this is really going to be our cornerback 2 here in Atlanta. Nothing but good praises from Clark Phillips, talking to Mike Johnson, somebody that's hands-on with the Atlanta Falcons, a former offensive tackle. My guy Cody with the connect here with Mike Johnson was definitely a special guest that we had here on the channel, and much love to you, Cody, for making that happen for the channel. But to hear Mike Johnson say, Clark Phillips III, what does he not have that these other cornerbacks have? The height. That's the only knock that you can give Clark Phillips III. The guy's got the speed, he's got the grit, and like Mike Johnson said, he's got the heart to be cornerback 2 here in Atlanta. Another position, Rook Ohurohu at the nose tackle, training with Grady Jarrett. Brandon Dolores, watching Troy Anderson come back from this injury that he had, this surgery, seeing what kind of blitz package Jimmy Lake brings to this offense is going to be, it's going to be phenomenal to watch. August the 2nd, a lot of content to come when it comes to that one particular day, as well as when the regular season kicks off. DFU is bringing it all to you live, so don't miss it, man. Hit that subscribe button if you're tuning in. If you're watching on Twitter, do me a favor, man. Head over to YouTube. It's DFU_ATL1. That's all you have to type in, DFU_ATL1. Hit that subscribe button, man. We're trying to get to 1,000. We're at 407, and we can't do it without you guys. So please, much respect. Head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment wherever you're at. Real quick, before we get to some more topics, I want to give a roll call over here on the chat section. Cassie Killer, always the #1 comment here, says, "What's up, Dirty Birds?" Chase, Phillip, how y'all doing? Love you, Cody. Shout out to Miss Cassie for tuning in. Hit that like button. Carlton Bunch in the chat, another diehard DFU fan, said, "What's up, Dirty Birds?" Carlton, man, we appreciate the love you show to the channel, brother. Always leaving a comment. Always sure to tune in. Shout out to you, Carlton. Mama is in the chat. She says, "Happy Friday, guys. Dirty Bird for life." With the flex emoji. You already know it. We in the Benz August the 2nd. My boy Caleb with us at hashtag DFU. Get the hashtags rolling in the chat, man. Hashtag DFU in the chat if you really rocking with DFU. My guy Justin Newman in the chat said, "Yo, what's good, fam?" Justin, shout out to you, brother. real quick, man. Big announcement coming for DFU. Big announcement coming for DFU. We are officially looking for somebody to fill this slot right up under me, right next to Cody. We need another podcaster, okay? If you're a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, we want you here on the channel. We've already got numerous of people in the comment sections, in the messenger, speaking on wanting to be a Falcon content creator here for DFU, man. Love to see it. It's just a cool feeling. You see other people that want to be a part of your podcast. Something you started up. It's been, a year and a couple months now. And, man, life is good, bro. I can't complain. The podcast is booming.
It's a movie.
I mean, the baby's on the way, man. God's truly blessed this kid over here, man. So I'm ecstatic for what is in store for DFU. Hunter Nobles, the Cuzzo in the chat, say, yo, what's good, Hunter? Appreciate the tune in, brother. Hit that like. Head over to YouTube if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button. Mama with the hashtag DFU in the chat. Shout out, Mama. Philip, Cody, obviously you heard what I wanted to look at when it comes to this Falcon first look. Open practice in the bins. It's been kind of quiet when it comes to social media. You haven't seen the passes from Kirk Cousins. It's almost like, hey, we're going to keep this on the hush. And we're just going to come to the world when it comes to week one opening season. Cody, Philip, Clark Phillips III, as I mentioned, is a very, very big spot here that has to be filled on the roster. Cornerback 2, as we said, it's not a weak position, but it's a light position when it comes to the Falcons. We all know it. Falcon fans, if you're a diehard Falcon, you know as well as I do, cornerback 2 is kind of worrisome. I'm not going to lie. Philip, Cody, give these fans something to hope for, something that they can look forward to when it comes to Clark Phillips. What is his strong points, and can he be cornerback 2 here in Atlanta?
100%. One main thing I like about him, and then seeing from the previous games of last year, he's aggressive. We ain't had any guy like that. I mean, besides, what's his name? Freak. I don't forget his name. But anyway, besides Robert Alford as well. I mean, yes, you could say, he caused a lot of penalties. Is what it is. That, to me, I just like physical football, especially on the, corner side, because, I play corner a little bit, so being aggressive is what I like being most about a corner, or seeing the most, so that is one hopeful thing you could look for, even at the size that he is, 5'8", 5'9",
5'10", something like that. Clark Phillips is a short guy, but he's in there.
That's my height out there doing big things, so being aggressive at that height, it's just something you don't normally expect.
Philip, you speak on aggression, and I love the word you use there, aggression, and pressure. Pressure is another thing. Physical is what you could say as well as what you said. Physical. And if you look right across the field from Clark Phillips III, you're going to have the number 1 PFF ranked most physical cornerback in the NFL in A.J. Terrell right across the screen from him. It's going to be, as Trump would say, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. The Atlanta Falcons defense is going to be amazing, I believe. I think they're a sleeper team. I really do. Cody, your thoughts on Clark Phillips III, brother?
Yeah, well, again, like Mike Johnson said, man, coming straight from somebody who's been there, done that, man, is the only knock that you have on him is size. And he goes, and it really doesn't matter because of how, again, to what Philip said, I love it. Fast, physical, and just aggressive, man. And that makes up for the size difference because a lot of these wide receivers now are soft. And so if you get somebody in there that's going to bully somebody, even being smaller, it's going to make things more difficult for that wide receiver out there when you've got a guy who's willing to go up against somebody who's 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", at 5'9", 5'10", and bully you. So that's I have no doubt that that Clark Phillips can absolutely play that second CB role there and do well. And the other thing, I know that we're not deep in that area, but this is, again, where Terry Fontenot will do Terry Fontenot things. There are going to be guys that are let go that are good that just aren't good enough, or Terry will find somebody to make sure that we're not weak in that area or not where we have more depth there.
Cody,
but
I'm glad you bring that up, Cody.
Yeah.
That brings a good point to me because you talk about Terry doing Terry things, bringing in guys to fill positions. You look at what he did last year. He brought in a Trey Flowers. No, I wasn't the biggest fan of Trey Flowers, but he was a seasoned vet in the league. He's been a guy that's played with multiple teams. There were some games Trey Flowers strapped down some people. I will be honest. There were some games that he did his job.
He matched well with huge receivers. That's just
He did. Cody, continue on, bro. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I would say, again, like to your point, Terry finds those guys. That's what he does. I mean, really, of course, you're not going to draft everybody and everybody be, a starter or a star or whatever.
Right.
But Terry has done one thing, and he's found guys who fit, with Jesse Bates. He's brought in, Trey Flowers, and they've filled the roles that they've needed to fill. I mean, obviously, Jesse Bates was kind of a no-brainer there. I mean, he was great in Cincinnati. But I don't expect Terry to sit on his hands and be like, well, we'll just kind of roll out with what we roll out. Terry's going to find a guy if we absolutely, because we need more depth there. Right. He'll find the guy, and it may take some time. People are going to have to get cut. People are going to, but Terry will find a guy. But as of right now, is where we sit. Clark Phillips I think is a sturdy number 2. And as long as nothing happens to him, even though we're not so deep in that area, I think we're sitting okay. As long, barring injury, obviously.
100%.
Right, 100%. I agree with you, Cody. I mean, you spoke on Terry, you spoke on the cornerback position. Another thing I want to speak about, and I know this wasn't a topic for tonight, but I'm sure you diehard Falcon fans are able to come up with something. When you talk about position battles, obviously we all three here have a certain position battle that we're watching closely. But I want to bring up a specific player on the defense side of the ball, and that's my guy, no other than Richie. Does Richie Grant make it past the offseason? Does Richie Grant make the roster?
I think, listen, if he's not at that position, it's because DeMarco Helms, obviously. But you might need a little bit just in that position as well. You might need depth as well. So you could possibly see him take back a step and be, there for depth pieces. I don't necessarily see him gone. I know like some people wish he would be, but we don't know how he's going to turn out in this new, system. We don't know. I've seen the worst, some of what we labeled the worst players turn out to be some of the best in certain, packages, schemes, etc. Like just for example, it was Vic Beasley. The year before that, nothing. Nothing. 2016 come along, Dan Quinn, oh man, he has the most sacks in the league. Dan Quinn left. Hey, it was nothing. Back to nothing. So, I mean,
100% scheme is a big part when it comes to these players, whether they played it in college, whether they're used to that scheme. Sometimes players can adjust to new schemes. Cody, your thoughts about Richie Grant? Philip brings up a good point. You need depth in that position. Safety spot is even kind of dwindled low there when it comes behind Jesse Bates. You got a couple of seasoned vets you brought in this offseason to do training camp, but obviously you got to make a 52-man roster. Some players will get cut, and some will be surprising, I believe. Cody, your thoughts about Richie Grant? Does he make this squad, or is it too early to tell?
I think it's one of those things. He would probably be there for depth issues. Now, I'm a believer in Richie Grant. I think he's shown flashes, and to me appears that he's getting better. Now, I think this is really where Coach Raw comes in. I think Coach Raw is going to get a lot more out of these guys than most coaches will. You can already tell that, he's a player's coach. But again, it's something that we've talked on this podcast multiple times about talking about what can we do to put you in the best position to do the best job that you can possibly. Mm-hmm. So I think with Coach Raheem coaching and taking care of that, because he's all over the field, defense, offense. He talks about how he was always in quarterback meetings and secondary meetings, and he bounces back and forth. Right. I think Coach Raw is going to get the best out of this team and best out of all these players. Now, of course, like you said, there are going to be guys that get cut and stuff like that because you have to narrow it down to a 53-man roster. But I think Richie Grant is one of those guys under Coach Raheem and Jimmy Lake, where they're going to be able to find out, hey, this is what we need to do to make you take that next step to become, I'm not going to sit here and compare him to AJ Terrell or compare him to Clark Phillips, but, at the same time, I can see Richie Grant taking that next step and being a good option for us and being that guy that we can, lean on. He may not be picking the ball off. He may not be our superstar in the backfield, but he can shut it down, even if not shut it down, that bend don't break mentality, maybe give up a catch, but limit it to 2-3 yards. So I see, Richie Grant stepping up in this Raheem Morris generation of Falcon football.
We're gonna turn
Cody
that.
with the solid points, man. Raheem Morris is most definitely a player's coach. You heard it from Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. And these ain't players that sit on the sideline. These are players that
These
are
are
stars
star
in the
players.
NFL. Aaron Donald with the praise of Raheem Morris. I mean, and Jalen Ramsey, they wanted to come to the Atlanta Falcons to play because of Raheem Morris. A lot of people don't understand what a good coach brings to a locker room. And I believe that is something we haven't had in a while. I think I still stand on what I said multiple shows back. The locker room was lost with Arthur Smith. Nobody respected Arthur Smith.
The fans didn't respect him.
Bijan, a rookie, I don't believe respected Arthur Smith. You held him out a whole game, possibly because of your franchise, your fantasy team. I mean, I don't understand what's going on when you hold out a Bijan Robinson in week 5. I don't really know what's happening there. Shout out to my guy Millie Mills in the chat. He says,
Arthur Smith.
Hold up, y'all. Hold up. College football 25 drops next week. Who are you rocking with? That's easy for this channel, Millie. We all three gonna say them dogs. We got that dog in us, baby. We got that dog in it. I can't even say dog without you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Millie Mills for the comment, man. Definitely buying college football 25. Definitely getting the Madden. Got to rock it with the Kirk Cousins. Philip, Cody, are we buying college football 25?
Probably. It might take a little bit. We're gonna get there.
Cody, I know you are a gamer. I'm a gamer. I love the football games. All I play is Madden 24 right now. Cody, will you be buying college football?
Oh yeah, no, definitely got to go. Definitely got to go get that. Plays the dogs online and hurt some feelings.
Man, that game.
Get that playoff.
I mean,
spot back.
let's be real. Dude. College football. There hasn't been another gaming system like college football since they quit producing the college football game. The Road to Dynasty, all that shit, dude.
The last college game I had was the one with, I think it was 09. Or no, I don't even remember. It was the last one with Matt Ryan on the front.
Does everybody remember the mascot game where you could play as a mascot? As everybody's mascot?
That's not returning.
That's not returning, and that's a major L for me, dude. That was one of my favorite gaming systems. There was when you was able to play as the mascots and see all the big heads running around the football field. But that carries me back to our main point, man. When we talk about this defense, and this podcast is going to be full of Atlanta Falcon defense because to me, obviously the offense is a big major part when it comes to this team because you have so many new faces on the offense. You know, your quarterback, your receivers, the chemistry, like Cody talked about, getting that chemistry with your receivers. But when it comes to this defense, as Philip mentioned earlier, you had a top 10 defense last year, and you kept what's his name? The name slipped my tongue, man. His name, defense coordinator, defense assistant. Jimmy Gray? No, not Jimmy Gray.
Jimmy Lake?
Jimmy Lake's your new DC, but there was another guy that we kept over. He was a major part of that defense last year. The name will come to me later. But you kept your DC assistant. He's going to be a big help to Jimmy Lake. Damn, dude, I can't believe that name is slipping my mind right now. Like he was a major part of that top 10 defense. But you look at that, and you look at the new team you're bringing in with the rookies that you took. You took a rookie from second, the third, the fourth round in this draft. You got to see some production when it comes to that defense of the ball. Can you guys agree with me here that Jerry Gray? Shout out to Millie Mills for the comment. Jerry Gray, I knew it was something great. Jerry Gray, a big part when it comes to this defense, man. So I know a lot of Falcon fans are looking at it as if, well, maybe you should have made Jerry Gray your DC. Maybe he should have been the guy that stepped up. Maybe it shouldn't have been Jimmy Lake, a first-time DC in the NFL. Not knocking Jimmy Lake at all, but you speak on the position battles, and there's a lot when it comes to position battles on defense. You could even say Arnold Ebiketie spot's up for grabs. Can we agree to that?
Yeah.
Philip, Cody, your thoughts of Ebiketie in this new role. What can he do this year? I say it's make it or break it year for Arnold Ebiketie. I've been saying it. Our special guest last week had a little bit of words to say about Arnold Ebiketie as well. Cody, you had a little say about Ebiketie not getting the sacks. We wanted to see Ebiketie get the sacks that he hasn't produced yet. Philip, Cody, what is the expectations for a young guy like Arnold Ebiketie, hashtag AKA the Sackmaster, that has yet to hold up to that name, Dr. Sackmaster? Philip, Cody, your thoughts.
Okay, so like my main thing about AK is I'm not too normally picky about sacks. It is what it is. Not everybody's going to get them. At least, some people's going to get them on the team. I don't care who it is, personally. But I want to see him be more aggressive and, putting more pressure, because holding up that title as a sack master, it means you're also putting pressure as well. You're making the QB scramble, doing other things. You know what I mean? I want to see him be more.
Look, I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to bring up a fact. You talk about the pressure. Does anybody remember back in Ebiketti's rookie season, the pressure this kid was getting on quarterback?
Yes.
And then it's like the second year comes around and it kind of regressed. And then I want to blame that on the fact that Ebiketti was more at a linebacker position last year than he was more of an edge. His strong point, which is the edge. I remember me and Pops talked about this all season. The games that Ebiketti lined up on the edge, on the other side of Calais Campbell, Calais on one side, Ebiketti on the other, we were getting pressure. Whether it was Zach Harrison pushing through the line to get a sack, Ebiketti was making those quarterbacks scramble. And a good game to go back and watch tape on is the Indianapolis Colts. Mm-hmm. That game, Ebiketti lined up on the edge the whole time. Had Garner Minshew or whatever his name is all over the field. I mean, all over the place. Philip, continue on, brother, and then we'll go to Cody about
this. But yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is I just want to see more of the pressure like he had like his rookie year. We really ain't seen much out of him. And I know he's got it in him, but then again, it can follow under the thing, he got lazy under, it was just something to do with Arthur Smith. We've seen a couple players seem like they got lazy under Arthur Smith. And now look, we got, Raheem. Everybody seems happy and ready. It's like, I don't know. It's just the type of vibe.
I'm so tired of bringing up 2016, but damn it if it don't give you the same vibes. I'm so
like,
tired of bringing that here, but good. It does. It does.
Listen, 2016 was not a bad year. It didn't end the way we wanted, but it wasn't bad. I'm just going to put it there. So there ain't no point of being disappointed or just like, oh, well, I hate talking about it. You know what I mean? So it did bring out a lot more good than it did bad.
Cody, you obviously went up against a lot of defense of edge, a lot of D linemen when it comes to playing high school football, et cetera. Being an offensive lineman, you were. What does it take? And give me your view on Ebiketti, but what is it going to take for that guy to take the next step here, to be that draft pick that we traded up for? Don't forget, we traded up for this guy in the second round.
Right.
Terry loves to do it. We traded up for him in the second round. As Philip said, you haven't gotten the production you needed. Cody, what does it take for Ebiketti to take this next step? And how are we feeling about Ebiketti in this new Jimmy Lake role?
Well, to your point, Chase, I think it's one of the big things was it felt like he was playing out of position, with Arthur Smith, almost playing like a hybrid linebacker position. And I never understood it. But again, to Philip's point, he's absolutely right. I don't care who gets the sacks, but apply the pressure that helps you get those sacks. If that's all you do is if you apply the pressure and Grady Jarrett's the one blowing up,
that's what I want.
The quarterbacks. Or if you're the one pushing somebody on the outside, and Troy Anderson's sitting over outside, and he's blowing people.
Troy, baby.
I don't care. Just get the pressure because pressure sacks still count. That's pressure is one of the biggest things. I mean, look at what.
Just make sure you do get him though.
Yeah. And this is
last year.
I'll say, and this is my thing. Look at all the best quarterbacks that you could think of: Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, all these guys that were so great in the pocket. Pressure makes you make mistakes. There you go. I'll say, but pressure is the quarterbacks. They're all the same. Like, yes, they're normally very cool. Even Matt Ryan has the name Matty Ice for a reason because he's cool under pressure. Mm-hmm. But if you are constantly running for your life because you've got pressure, you're throwing off your back foot. Now you're not making throws as accurate as you'd like. I mean, again, look at what happens to Tom Brady when he got pressure. Mr. GOAT. You put pressure on him and look at what it did. It turned him into he cried and he whined and he played worse and he didn't look as good.
Water bottles.
Yeah, it's just, throwing tablets and stuff like that. That's what happens when you put pressure on the quarterback. That's why your job as an offensive lineman is so important because nobody wants to get hit like that. You don't want to be taking a look, and next thing you know, your face mask is exactly.
Ass.
You don't want that. And if you've got a guy that is on your ass all day long, it speeds that clock up in their mind. They talk about that internal clock. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. I got to get rid of it. Now it's 1 Mississippi. Where's Arnold Ebiketie at? Where's Grady Jarrett at? And now you're not thinking who's open. That's what pressure does. So again, I'm not asking Arnold Ebiketie for 15 sacks, 12 sacks, 10 sacks, anything like that. Just bring that pressure so other people can get those sacks, because your sacks will come with it eventually. So my thing is I think if they will move him back to where he fits, and that's on that edge position and out of that hybrid linebacker crap that they like to do, he can return to that rookie season form and start applying that. He may not be the sack master, sack doctor, whatever he wants to call himself, but be the pressure doctor. I don't care. Right. Because if you putting pressure on, that opens things up for other players. And that's
great
huge.
Comment here. Great comment from Millie Mills here. So it's going to take for another guy on the D-line to at least get some type of pressure as well. That brings me to my next topic here on the channel. The D-line, bro. You look at the rotational pieces you have here, possibly a Eddie Goldman, Rook Ohurohu. You talk about Calais Campbell not returning, but you got a Zach Harrison that is filling that role pretty well, I believe. I've seen the guy back in Savannah when we went to the Savannah meet and greet, and the guy has put on some muscle mass, and he's already 6'8" as it is. Zach Harrison is going to be a phenomenal piece when it comes to this D-line. I think having Calais for that 1 year under his rookie season was amazing for Zach Harrison. Philip, Cody, this may be a little tough because, like I said, it is early into the offseason. We haven't hit the 52-man roster yet. But let's give a little DFU, your starting 4 D linemen when it comes to this squad. Who do you think could be that if you run a 4-3, if you run a 3-4? Who is the 4 guys that you're lining up week 1 on that D line? I'll give you mine real quick.
Tough.
I'm going David Onamata at the nose tackle.
All right.
And then I'm going right beside Onamata. I'm putting Grady Jarrett. He's back, baby. Grady is back, baby. It's time to get some pressure. All right. And then beside him, I'm going my guy Zach Harrison. All right. And then to the left of me, I'm going Ebiketie if one of these rookies does not beat him out. If one of these rookies beat him out, what if you see Rook Ohurohu at nose tackle week 1?
I got a question for you. Do you see Lorenzo Carter or
Lorenzo Carter, another guy that we're forgetting about here on the channel because this defense
do you see Lorenzo?
So stacked,
do you see Lorenzo on that side?
That's who I can put in front of Ebiketie, Philip. I'm glad you brought that name up because that's my line right there. I'm calling it Lorenzo Carter, my guy Onamata, Grady Jarrett, and then obviously Zach Harrison on the edge. That is your starting 4-3 defense, I believe. You got rotational pieces in Rook Ohurohu. There's a training video going around right now of Rook. I mean, just swatting with his hand, just learning hand work right now. Like Rook is putting in the work. Another guy you traded up for in the second round. Got to see major production when it comes to this guy. Philip, Cody, give me your starting 4 if you had to take a guess. Chat, get active. Let me know your starting 4 defensive line. If you run a 4-3 or a 3-4, let me know who your starting D-line is.
Man, this is a little tough. I think I'm going to go, on the – I'm going to just name the 4. All right. I think I'm going to go with Lorenzo, obviously. I got to go with Grady. That's number 1. That's a no-brainer. Grady's going to be there. I could it's a flip-flop between you could have Street or Onamata. That's a flip-flop right there. But I'm going to go with Onamata.
Definitely going Onamata over Street. Street is a good rotation piece of Philip. That is very nice that you brought up Street because now you look at that rotation. You got Rook, Street, and Onamata that can play as a no tackle.
Bro, you even got Eddie Goldman.
Eddie Goldman, another name.
But I'm sticking with Onamata on that. The 4th, oh man, I'm gonna go with Harrison as well. I'm gonna have the same 4. I think I'm gonna go with the same 4. To be honest with you, just to me that makes more sense. I feel like it,
Cody,
but yeah,
Cody, you're starting 4 when it comes to a 4-3 defense.
We're forgetting about Braylon Trice as well.
Millie, I see your comment here. Trice and DeLore fitting to have something to say about that too. That's what I'm saying, dude. You have rookie players. No, I said it. You have rookie players that can beat out vets here on this squad. Cody, your thoughts?
You might see Trice.
I
mean,
yeah, my first 2 are no-brainers to me. Is Grady Jarrett and David Onamata. Those 2, day 1. I mean, those 2 are just nasty, man. I'm gonna go with the surprise here. If Goldman doesn't quit and he sticks around, does he have some of that vet magic left in him?
I'm saying
I would
bro.
like to see Eddie Goldman come out and show, hey, I've still got what it takes, and I've got stuff left in the tank.
Mhm.
So I would like to see Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, I just said his name, Eddie Goldman, and I think Lorenzo Carter. I would say I think that would be a good starting four. But I've seen the video that you're talking about Ruka.
Mhm.
Don't be surprised if Ruka isn't starting week 1. So you know what? I'm going to take that back. So my starting four is going to be Grady, Onyemata, Goldman, and Ruka.
Sheesh, but we bring in the pressure all season long, baby.
Boy, that's heavy.
Millie Mills here with another comment, man. Shout out to Millie getting active in the chat, man. Y'all need to, everybody viewing, you need to copy Millie right here, bro. Comment. That
is literally what we talked about.
If we go 3-4, Troy on the edge. Exactly, bro. Troy Anderson is back. He is healthy. He's got the speed. Dude, he can play any position on the field. He's played quarterback. He's played running back.
Yeah, he's even catch some passes. He's blocked punts.
Troy Anderson is an athlete when it comes to being an athletic freak in the NFL. Another guy, dude, that you can think about that could get some rushing here. Caden Ellis, another guy that can come in here.
I was about to say Caden Ellis.
And he really gets some
remind you, Caden done that in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. And he done it against us a couple times, I'm not going to lie.
And Cody, you brought up the fact how it was a no-brainer. Onyemata, Grady Jarrett, the first two that came out your mouth. Onyemata, Grady Jarrett. Look at what these guys did before Grady went down. You didn't give up a running touchdown while Grady and Onyemata was in the center of that D line.
Right.
There's no way you're running against that defense. I don't see it happening. And you talk about rotation with Rook, Eddie Goldman, Street, like Philip said. These other players that you're bringing back that could
especially when even when Street went down. Well, not Street, but Grady went down. It was Street and Onyemata. I remember it was the Vikings game. They just kept wanting to run up the middle. Nothing that even them. And then after Street went down, it was still solid. I mean, it wasn't, it wasn't like it was.
PFF was Onyemata graded one of the most pressure D tackles in the league.
Like just Onyemata alone after them two went down, pretty much, it was just basically him in that middle. He still held his own there. That's what's crazy.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Well, yeah, and like to your point, I was going to say, Caden Ellis, man, he's got that bend, dude, where, I watched him several times when he did come off the edge, just the way, and around guys. Mm-hmm. And it was, you're just going, holy cow, this dude is quick and he can bend. So, I mean, that's an excellent point. Boy, you, Chase, I was about to say, what about, Caden Ellis? 50, he wears the number 55. So, definitely watch him because that was my number. So, I was super impressed with Caden Ellis, and I'm so glad.
Speaking on the number 55, DFU, Abraham possibly making an appearance on the channel.
Yeah.
We're trying to make it happen. Getting some comments back from him. I'm excited, dude. Abraham's a cool dude. I've had the pleasure to interview John Abraham with my guys Smitty and Berto. Both those guys gave me the chance when I was starting this podcast thing, and I was able to chat with Abraham, man. And it's a cool thing to see when you see a guy in public,
that guy that we watch,
and he remembers you from a podcast when you don't think you mean anything to a guy like John Abraham. John Abraham, man, is in talks with DFU to coming on the channel, doing a little interview style podcast, man. Y'all be sure to stick around. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button so you'll see when we drop the content with John Abraham, man. Don't mean to get us off a topic here, but our next topic of the night was kind of a topic that we've talked about already, but not really. When it comes to this schedule, we all know the schedule's tough. Somehow it's ranked one of the easiest schedules. I don't understand how. You're facing a lot of teams that made the playoffs last year. What team, or I wouldn't say worried about, but what game is going to be the most? No. Well, excited for, and then what game are you kind of worried about when it comes to the schedule?
I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not more of like being more worried, but it's the game, the Ring of Honor game, the Thursday night game with Matt Ryan. Tampa's gonna want to come in and ruin that night for Matt. Let's just be honest, and for us, it is a very special moment for us and to him as well. I'm not necessarily like what you say, like scared, but yeah, Tampa is. It's always
Division
a
rival,
game.
baby.
It's a tough
Division
man.
rival. NFC
They
South
wanna
is
fight.
always a good game.
When you want to fight, you gotta fight. Let's just be honest, So
Fight
I
for
mean,
your right
so
to party, and that's what we're gonna do when Matty Ice is in the
So,
Ring of Honor, baby.
I just feel like they're gonna want to try to ruin it for us, even for him. So I mean, that's the game I'm most. That's the game for me this entire year. I don't know why, it just is.
My boy Millie Mills says none of them, baby. We got Captain and Kurt. We gonna be all right. You heard? We gonna be all right. Cody, you've heard the comments. You heard the questions. Who and what game are you excited about? And then what game are you kind of like, okay, this could maybe be our first L here on the season? I know, obviously, as Falcon fans, we want to see the Falcons win every game.
Right.
But what team kind of
we were supposed to lose?
scares you? But what kind of team is like, these guys have some ballers, and we've got to play A+ when it comes to this team?
Well, the game that I'll start with the one I'm most excited for, and that is the Matt Ryan Ring of Honor game. Matt Ryan, obviously being my favorite Falcon of all time. I'm going to be excited for that, man. I can't wait to see the poster they give away, whatever flag they give away that day.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one, and I'm going to be, loud because Matt's going to be in the building, and then he's going to be featured big time. So it'd be good to see Matt back in the Mercedes-Benz where he belongs. And to get to see his name go up in the Ring of Honor will be really neat. Like I say, dude was, my favorite football player.
Be right back.
Yeah.
Y'all continue.
Matt was, by far my favorite player. And so to get to see him honored like that is going to be super cool, not only for him, but for me too, to, know that he's finally going to get the recognition that he deserves as the greatest. I'm not going to say that Matt Ryan was the greatest Falcon athletically, but Matt Ryan is hands down the best Falcon to ever put on the the Falcon uniform.
Definitely in the one of the biggest names to go in the Falcons Mount Rushmore.
Absolutely, and that's where he absolutely belongs. The game that I'm with Millie on this, I'm not really worried about it, but the one game that I'm like, here we go, is the Kansas City game, and it has nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes, and it has nothing to do with Travis Kelce, and it has nothing to do with Andy Reid and them coming off a Super Bowl. It's the damn Taylor Swift fans and how loud they're going to be. Now, this was something me and the wife were talking about last night. If Atlanta Falcons, if you're listening, whoever's listening, media team, whoever, you have to not, Falcon fans first. Do not sell your tickets to Kansas City fans. Do not do it because they're going to be loud because they think Taylor Swift's going to be there. Let's be honest. We know that that's the majority of the people that are going to be there. The people that are so in love with Taylor Swift and so in love with the Travis Kelce thing. This is the other thing. Falcons, Atlanta Falcons organization. You have to do something special that night. Yes. I don't care if you bring in Ludacris, Jermaine Dupri, Pastor Troy. You have got to.
We have yet lost a game when Ludacris has came in town.
Ludacris is the A, baby.
I would say my thing is you have to bring out every Atlanta star that you can that night to keep the Taylor Swift noise down. That is the only thing that I'm worried about is being outsold to Kansas City because Taylor Swift. So Atlanta Falcons. We have to have our own superstar there, our mega star, guy, girl, I don't care who that will compete with Taylor Swift. My opinion, Ludacris needs to be there. And, so that's really the only thing I'm worried about Kansas City wise. And let's not get it wrong, or twisted. Kansas City is a good football team. Kansas City is a good, they're 3 Super Bowls last 4 years, whatever it is. So again, not worried, but that's the game that I really don't want to see, especially it being a Monday night game, primetime game, everybody's watching game. I don't want this game to come down to, they were louder than us because Taylor Swift was there. So let's see how that's kind of the only thing that I'm like, well, here we go.
Real quick before I get to Millie's comment here about D'Angelo Malone, my most excited game, man, it's got to be week 1. It's got to be week 1 because I am aiming to go in there and raise absolute hell when it comes to these Steeler fans because I know they're going to be packed. I have kind of a rivalry, I guess you could say, with the Steelers since what happened 2 years ago. So I definitely want to see the Falcons go in the bins and absolutely stomp Arthur Smith out of the stadium. As I've already said, I feel like it's going to be a dog walk. I feel like the atmosphere is going to be crazy in the bins. You're going to see Kirk Cousins come out there slinging the ball. as my guy Millie said, we got Captain Kirk, baby. Ain't nothing to worry about.
He's Captain Atlanta now.
And then I wouldn't say it's a worry because I never want to worry when it comes to the Falcons. But my most – it's always the Saints. It's always when the Saints come to town.
That's how I know you, bro.
It's always when the Saints come to town, bro. They bring a different atmosphere.
They bring their vibe. That's it.
They do. They do.
And they travel. They bring their squad, boy, and they bring their bullshit.
Well, and they're going to suck this year, so this is going to be their Super Bowl. We're going to be their Super Bowl.
Yeah. We're going to play in their stadium, in the shit dome. Falcon fans, Millie with another great question. He says, how often are y'all willing to play D'Angelo Malone? This is a guy that didn't get played enough last year. D'Angelo Malone in his second year should have played a lot more than what he played. Maybe he didn't fit the Ryan Nielsen scheme, but I'm willing to give Malone his chance this year. I don't want to see Malone only on special teams. I want to see what this kid's got. You drafted him. I believe it was 3rd or 4th round. You drafted the kid. He's got talent. He's in the NFL for a reason. D'Angelo Malone could really be a sleeper when it comes to pressure. We talk about pressure, something that D. Malone specified in when it came to college. Malone is a long, tall defensive edge. He can play that linebacker spot, that Roman, as you said, that hybrid linebacker, whatever you want to call it. D'Angelo Malone's got speed, he's got the tackling abilities, and he can be very, very dominant when it comes to maybe the right scheme in Atlanta under Jimmy Lake, a former college coach that's ran the college scheme. Hopefully he comes over to the NFL and he continues the success that he had in college. Raheem Morris with a lot of respect when it comes to Jimmy Lake. We did mention the games that we were kind of not worried about, but games we would keep on our radar. If we had to pick a player, who is your breakout player this year and why?
I said it last week, and I'm going to say it again. It's Drake London for me. I feel like everybody's in the rankings of receiver-wise, they're looking at him, and they're thinking just because he don't have this quarterback, really, that's the main reason. And then now he does. It's that they think he's a joke. I feel like, they don't take him serious because of what he's been dealt with in the past. I think this is his year, and I think he's going to take this offense to a whole nother level with connection with, I'm confident to say that the connection is there with Kirk. I really am. It's not hard with talented guys, Drake and, Kirk as well. That's my pick. I'm just going to go with it. I think he's going to get past I think he's going to go beyond 1,000 yards. I think he's got at least 1,500
tonight, baby.
That's
yes, sir. Drake London is him because I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what the doubters say.
The crazy catches that he made.
I want to bring up something real quick. Our special guest talked about the fumbles with Bijan. This is my player to watch is Bijan. He brought up the fumbles with Bijan, but let's not forget who fumbled quite a lot his first season, and that was Drake London. And look at the player he turned out to be. I think Bijan will be a star when it comes to this new offensive scheme and Zach Robinson. You heard it out the horse's mouth. Raheem Morris said, get the ball to Bijan however you can get the ball to Bijan. You're going to see a tremendous step up when it comes to Bijan this year. Year 2, man, you see the pictures flowing through Instagram, Facebook. Bijan has put on some muscle mass, people. You already had a speedster with muscle, but this guy has bulked up here for year 2. Cody, your player to watch and why?
Yeah, well, allegedly we got called out for kissing Bijan's ass. So Bijan, because I'm gonna say Bijan too, man. I'll kiss your ass all day because you're that guy. You're that guy. I don't care if you fumble in key situations. Shit happens. It's football. You know what makes up for fumbling, the ball in key situations, your defense getting stops. You know what makes up for it even more? When Bijan breaks one for 76 yards and everybody's eating his smoke looking at his ass. So my thing, that's my guy. Bijan is going to be your breakout. He's going to be your star. He's going to be the guy that you ride. And don't get me wrong, Tyler Algier is a close second on this. Because he's a bowling ball, man. I love me some Tyler Algier. Met him. He is a big dude. Even as big as a dude as I am, I'm not standing in front of Tyler Algier and letting him drop his shoulder and knock my ass over because you're going to feel it.
Shout out to my guy Bodie, Cody. I don't mean to interrupt, but my guy Bodarian Jones, man, on Facebook, part of One Time for the Fan. Bodie was a big supporter of Tyler when we drafted him before all the Falcon fans knew what Tyler was going to be. I remember in the group chat at one time for the fan, Bodie was messaging me, bro, and he's like, "Hey, dude, we just got to steal when it comes to this Tyler Algier. Like, this guy is legit. He followed him all through college, and look what Tyler Algier has turned out to be, man. Shout out my guy, Bodie Jones.
Glad I got the signature.
Yeah, no, I mean Tyler's. I've got Tyler's signature on my hat. I got it his rookie year signed on the field day hat. I love Tyler, but again,
speaking of
Bijan is something
right
else,
here.
man. Bijan is special. That's why you see the highlights that you see of Bijan.
And the Drake
Again, I would say fumbles happen. It's football. It's gonna happen. I don't care who you are. You're telling me. We'll use this as an example. Jerome Bettis, the bus, in the most key situation that he could possibly be in, 2 yards from the end zone in the Super Bowl, gets the ball knocked out. And does anybody credit him any less because of that? Hell no, because he was a talent. Bijan is a talent. He's an amazing talent, and there's a reason that we didn't go draft an offensive lineman, a wide receiver, another whatever. It's because Bijan is special. He is that guy. He is somebody that if you don't have a quarterback, you can build this team around. There's a reason. There's a reason Bijan is who he is. I'll say so. Again, my guy is definitely going to be Bijan. Watch for him to hit, 1,500 yards, 20 plus touchdowns. Watch it happen because it's going to. If it doesn't happen this year, it will happen.
I'm hearing that Bijan could be your top leader this year. This is rumors coming out of Vegas that Bijan could be the number 1 rusher this season. Shout out to Millie, man. He says, this might sound crazy, but I'm going to say the Raiders game got me double looking at them on the schedule. Another middle-of-the-road team, young and believing in their head coach now. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I agree with Millie, man. Point. As we said earlier, it's crazy what a coach can do for a team that is riding for their coach. As I will say again, I do not believe Falcon players were riding for Arthur Smith. You've seen players want to leave. A good example, Calvin Ridley, his first season at receiver 1. I know a lot of stuff was going on in the backfield and the background with his personal life, but that it just didn't jive well for Calvin Ridley and Arthur Smith. He had one bad game, and Arthur Smith comes out into the press and says that that we lost, pretty much said we lost the game because of Ridley. I thought it was crazy. It came out, and then right after that came out, Ridley was no longer active with the team. Obviously, there was some gambling going on with that. But I agree with you, Millie. When you have a team that's behind their head coach, that atmosphere that they bring to that locker room, look at the Detroit Lions. That is a great team to talk about. Dan Campbell came in there. I mean, took him a year, but if you watch Hard Knocks at all, you see the love that this guy has for his team. He talks about making them pad up. He talks about making them pad up and go full pads in the heat and in training camp. He says, if I could go without pads and know that y'all are where y'all need to be, we wouldn't go pads at all. But to have that type of chemistry in your locker room, man, it does amazing things for your team. Shout out to Miss Carrie here in the chat. She says, Falcon fam, I'm late to the show, but I'll catch the replay. Happy Friday, everyone. Appreciate you tuning in, Carrie, no matter how late you were. You're here with the channel, man. We appreciate it. Hit that like. Millie Mills said, I'm expecting all of them to be breakout players, but I'm specifically keeping an eye on Rondale Moore. I just don't think dude got the juice. Rondale Moore is a guy that is supposedly turning eyes when it comes to training camp. You've seen, Rondale Moore where did Rondale come from? The Bears, right? Chicago?
I think he came from Arizona.
Who's the one that came from Chicago? Who's the guy that came from
Mooney
Chicago?
Came from Chicago.
Mooney is the guy I'm talking about. But yeah, Rondale Moore, I think he's more of a special team.
And then you got Ray McLeod too.
Ray McLeod, another speedster when it comes there. I think Darnell Mooney is going to be your receiver too, just because of the season he had with Justin Fields before they got DJ Moore. He was their number 1 receiver pretty much in yards. So I'm ready to see.
Sometimes still got overthrown or just overlooked.
I'm ready to see what Mooney brings here to the channel or to the team. Kerry said, I guess, but they don't even know who their QB1 is. Saw that this is going to be a camp battle for the Raiders QB1 spot. Yes, that you have, but you also have a stud in Brock Bowers at tight end, a dog himself.
And
Love to see Brock Bowers, man. I want to see Brock Bowers do good things. But when you come to Atlanta, buddy, or we go to LA, you're gonna take that L. So I hate to tell you, you're taking the L, Mr. Brock Bowers. Much respect to you, brother.
It's a free.
Philip, continue on, brother. You were saying something. Continue on.
Oh, well, I was speaking on the Dan Campbell thing. Like the whole team ordeal. He was a guy that, the season before they went like almost 0-16. They kept losing, and he just kept believing in his team. He cried for them, saying that they, he knows they can do this. And it's just crazy how things happen. Just that one thing. The players find that respect for him. That's just it. 100%. It's just like in us. Raheem is an all player. He's our team guy, man. Like, just look at him. He's all full of our boys. No shadow of a doubt that if it happens to us, say this season, I wouldn't say he would react the same because we don't know that, but it would be similar. He would hurt for the team, the players, because he thinks they're better than what sometimes what they show.
So, and it's not even that we think they're better. I got a cool stat for you guys tuning into the channel. This is building the perfect NFC South team. This is off of PFF position rankings. All right, at number 1 in the NFC South only, you have quarterback Kirk Cousins from the Atlanta Falcons. That's one spot we have on the roster. Then you got running back unit, the Atlanta Falcons. Then you got the receiving corps. I do not agree with this at all. Receiving corps, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Offensive line, Atlanta Falcons. That's 3 Atlanta Falcons on the NFL or NFC South.
I've seen that.
Then you have defensive line, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I kind of agree with that. They do have a nice D line. Linebacker unit, another one I do not agree with. You have the New Orleans Saints at the linebacker unit. Then secondary, another one, secondary New Orleans Saints. Out of all that being said, the Atlanta Falcons have more position spots here on this list.
Is there only 3 teams in the NFC South? Are we missing somebody?
Pansies don't even make the list. They're not even worthy of that list.
Right. They're non-existent.
But you
God, I love it. God is good.
You see it here from the PFF rankings, bro. You have out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of 7 spots, you have the Falcons in 3 spots. That's more than anybody else in the NFC South. You have a dominant team. Cody, your thoughts of Kirk Cousins hasn't even played a snap in Atlanta yet, but he's already ranked the number 1 NFC South quarterback. You got the best running back unit, as we all knew here on the channel. And then you have the best offensive line unit as well. What could this offense do here when it comes to Atlanta?
Man, it's like you said, it's got that 2016 vibe to it. It's limitless with Kirk Cousins. As long as we've got that continuity in that offense and everything is clicking, there is no reason that this team can't average 30 points a game. There is not. It'll almost be disappointing if we ever play a game and we win 27 to 27 or like 28 to 21. Because this team is capable of scoring 30, 35 points a game easily. Just like, again, I understand it's going to take time and I don't expect them to score 35 points a game, obviously, but they have the capability to do that. Really the only thing that I have against this list is, okay, Tampa's, there's a few things, but the one that I kind of have a gripe with really because is the Tampa Bay D-line versus our D-line. Mm-hmm. Yes, Tampa Bay's D-line is decent, but it's not the Tampa Bay defense from, 2 years ago. They've lost guys. They've gotten older. And you're looking, you look at our defensive line again, you've got Grady Jarrett. You've got David Onyemata. You've got Street. You've got Zach these Harris. Dogs that didn't allow a rushing touchdown till week 8. Mm-hmm. There's something to be said about that. In the NFL, as much as it's a passing league now, running the ball is still such a big part of it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, because, you'd only run or pass. But at the same time, for you to be able to shut other teams, because if I'm not mistaken, we played a few running teams. That's what they did and did well.
The Colts ran the hell out of the ball last year with Jonathan Taylor.
Right. But you come to Atlanta and you
We
get your
stood
asses
tall.
shut out, and you're
Yep.
not getting touchdowns on the ground. So,
Mhm.
I mean, ultimately, like I said, I think this is definitely shows that our offense is definitely hell, you could even make one.
Explosive is the word, explosive, because I believe that's what this team will be.
And then even if I'm even kind of nitpicky about the wide receiver room,
Yeah,
because
same.
is Tampa Bay probably got the edge because they got Mike Evans.
Yeah.
But I mean, is Mike Evans at 30? What is he now? 32, 33,
He's up there.
however old he is. Is he better than a 25 or a 24-year-old Drake London? I don't, that remained to be seen because Drake London, we talked about the stat last week, most catches contested in the NFL. Not Mike Evans, Drake London.
Drake London, baby.
Even without a top 10 quarterback at that.
Right.
Never had a top 10 quarterback. Drake London's never had a top 10, much less a top 20 quarterback.
I was about to say, I don't think he's had a top 20 either.
Comment here from Millie Mills says, running back is a toss-up to me between Kamara and Bijan. Millie, I'll have to disagree with you, brother. And the only reason why is because Tyler Algier is why you do not have the Saints at the number one spot in running back. And I also want to mention Kamara has never rushed for 1,000 yards, and he's been in the league more than 5 years.
He's just too busy trying to fight fans.
Kamara is very shifty. He is very shifty and fast. I'm not knocking him at all. But the reason why Bijan was a rookie and he brought in 976 yards his rookie rushing year. That's why you're at number one in the running back position. And it's tough for me to give the Aints any kind of props when it comes to that team.
It can stick to fighting fans.
Some breaking news here for DFU. Some really cool news when it comes to DFU. The Atlanta Falcons UK group at a London will be here live Friday. I don't have the time yet, but Friday, be sure to tune back in because we're going to have Atlanta Falcons UK. There's a group of 4 people. I don't know how many is going to make it. Maybe all 4 can come, but you're going to want to catch this podcast, man. These guys are going to talk about how they started up their very first Falcon group in the UK. And these guys don't have a small following, guys. They have over 7.4K followers on Twitter.
They built like that.
They have a huge following when it comes to Atlanta Falcons in UK. That's why you see these teams playing overseas, as my guy Jack likes to say, playing across the pond when it comes to London. You have a lot of Falcon fans all over the world, man, and I think it's cool that we can bring that here to the podcast to spread our channel to London, to spread London to the United States, man. I think it's a cool thing. And hopefully these are guys we can meet up with in the season because I know they travel to Atlanta. It's definitely dope, man. I got Millie here in the comments says UK and DFU. Hell yeah, boys. You already know Millie, man. Be here Friday night. I don't know what time yet. I will get that out. I will post a post about it. Philip, my editing guy over here, is going to make sure to have y'all our fire. Whether that's a UK banner or whatever it may be when it comes to that. Philip always with the fire edits. But we will have something nice for you here, DFU, on Friday. Guys, we have reached our 1 hour podcast, and I know we can continue on all night.
We got
Phillip,
one more topic. What was the one I sent you? The Mount Rushmore.
I almost forgot it again. Philip, lead the way.
I seen today there was something on Twitter. It was just basically a post about the Atlanta Falcons Mount Rushmore. I just wanted to see our point of views, who we thought was our top 4.
I'll take it from the top right here, bro. You got obviously what they ranked. Matty Ice, which was a no-brainer. Julio Jones. It was Deion Sanders, and there was one more, correct? Michael Vick, MV number 7. I would have to almost agree with that list. I'm going Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. You cannot leave Julio Jones off that list. This is where it gets tough, bro. I like Mike Vick, but you had people like Tony Gonzalez in a Falcon uniform at one point. I mean, it is crazy. And Roddy White, another one that you could put up on that mountain, dude. Roddy White was a freaking shout out to my guy, Roddy White, man. You see him on the wall. I'm a diehard fan of number 84. Always have been. Kyle Shanahan, you did my boy wrong, and you will go to hell for that. But shout out to my guy, Roddy White, man. Cody, your thoughts of that receiving core, that quarterback group, who should be on that Mount Rushmore?
Like you said, the two, if you leave them off, you probably need to go get checked out by a doctor. It's Matt Ryan and Julio Jones.
This is gonna be interesting.
The last 2 are tough. Like I definitely understand where people are coming from with the Michael Vick stuff. I definitely understand
you can't
prime
forget
time.
Prime either. Prime.
Yeah, I think you definitely got to put Prime on there, especially because the rudest team. They called them the rudest team back in '91. I think that's
Jamal
definitely
Anderson, another one.
Yeah, and then you've got
some for you.
you've got other people that kind of led the way. You've got Steve Barkowski. You've got Terrence Mathis. I mean,
the
like you
list
said,
is
Tony
on and
Gonzalez, John Abraham, Roddy White. God, dude, there's so many good ones. Man, I'm definitely going Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. I think you've got to put Roddy White on there. Man, that last spot. You know what? I think that's going to have to be. It's going to have to be Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Roddy White, and I think you've got to put Primetime on there.
Okay,
100%. Philip, before we get out of here, man, the wife is
obviously
texting me already about needing help with the baby. Your thoughts of who should be Mount Rushmore?
Obviously, it's my boy Matt. Got to go with Matt. I'm gonna go one neither one of y'all named.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna name my other one. It's gonna be Prime. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, Dion, got to get him in there. Roddy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not adding
63
Julio.
touchdowns as a Falcon.
I am not adding Julio.
Over 10,000.
I'm going with the Falcon legend, Jesse Tuggle.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's true.
That's a good one too.
I'm going with
Philip, hold the phone. Number double digits 11 over here, hanging up on the wall. Can't forget my guy Julio. Philip, Julio Jones changed the receiver era when it came to receivers.
He did. But
he is out of all time the GOAT when it comes to receivers. I don't care what they say.
As in team effort, though, he gave up on us. He said he was out of there.
I agree.
It is what it is. Roddy stayed loyal to the team. That's what I'm looking for. Them four, the most loyal people I know.
Well, I was ranking mine off of athleticism because Julio was just.
I mean that too,
freak.
but we can't. But we can't knock down Roddy before.
No, I said Roddy.
Listen. The only reason I left Julio and put Roddy there is because I'm gonna be honest. Without the mentorship, without that, I don't feel like Julio. I mean, he would have been the guy, obviously, but I don't think he would have been maybe as level-headed as he was the first part of his career.
I could agree.
The mentorship, just the numbers.
Roddy learned Roddy taught him the ropes when it comes to the NFL.
Right.
I agree.
I mean, it's just
right here, my guy Alberto says
there's a lot.
Roddy favorite Falcon. 100%, man. Roddy still reps the organization well. As I said, 63 touchdowns as a Falcon, over 10,000 yards as an Atlanta Falcon. Drafted back in 2005 from a college nobody knew about. Roddy White, man, was a stud when it comes to these Falcons.
Jesse Tuggle's going to be on my list, though.
I would say there's another one that you got to think of, even though he's kind of gone off the deep end a little bit. With Jamal Anderson, man, the guy invented the Dirty Bird. Yep. I mean, there's so many. It's hard to pick just four.
And you think about our guy Wart Dunn as well. Wart
Dunn.
Michael Turner,
a partial owner of the Atlanta Falcons. Wart Dunn. Michael Turner, another Turner the Burner, baby. Shout out to him. Falcon fans, it has been a phenomenal show here for DFU. An hour and 8 minutes live here for you, bringing you some Falcon content, man. As I said, we are accepting applications for that third or that fourth spot here right beside my guy Cody. It gets kind of lonesome at the bottom by yourself. We need one more. We need one more. Hey, you got it right there, brother. We need one more spot, man. One more spot. Like I said, we got a bunch of contestants going to come on as a special guest. As the contestants come on, man, we're going to see the vibe they bring to the channel, how you guys react to these people. We want to bring somebody to the channel that you guys respect and as well as us through respect. So as I said, in the next upcoming weeks, you'll see a bunch of pop-up shows, a bunch of random shows. Falcon fans, DFU is coming at you more than once a week. We will be live every Tuesday and Friday now. Every Tuesday and Friday at 8 o'clock, DFU is bringing you Falcon content. And like I said, you're going to have a bunch of special guests coming on, as far from Scott Kariskit, my guy Justin Newman. There's so many more, man. My guy Rick James from Facebook, another diehard Falcon fan, season ticket holder since 2016. A bunch of more people that's going to be coming on here that wants to be a part of this podcast, man. My guy Robert Stevens, another one, man. I just named off 5 to 6 people that's going to be interviewing for DFU. There's so many guys that want to be a part of this channel, man. It really makes me happy. Philip, Cody, has been a hell of a show with you boys. Shout outs for tonight.
Man, you already know I'm blessed to be here. Lord and Savior, brother. It's been a blessed week. He never seems to never find a way for me to do something, man. It's crazy, man. As long as I got faith, bro, I know I'm gonna get through it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you boys for being here and the amazing 1 hour, man. It's just crazy on these small topics that we've had. Just randomly came up today. Just to talk about. It's been fun. Shout out everybody in the chat. It's always a good time seeing people chat. See your point of views exactly, like seeing things we like to see. Agreeing with certain things as well. Just getting your opinion across. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the team. We're less. Dang, we only got like a month, and we're
less than 50
preseason.
days, baby.
We're preseason. I'm not excited for preseason, but it's football. I'm ready to get to the real thing. That's my only point about it. But man, shout out to the team. Shout out to everybody, man. As always, rise up.
My main man, Cody Keeler, baby. What's going on, man? Give me a shout out for tonight, brother.
Yes, sir. Shout out to everybody that's liking, subscribing, doing all that stuff, man. Like you said, we're almost, we're 96 people away from halfway to 1,000. So,
yes, sir.
Keep pushing, we'll keep pushing out content if y'all keep watching and keep liking. Help us get there. Share it to a Falcon fan. Falcon fans, we're out there. We're deep, 6 million strong out here just in Atlanta. So,
sure.
So shout out to you guys that, constantly interact with us, through comments. It's awesome to see y'all be, active, even though, because y'all been doing it, even all off season before, 130 days out, y'all are in here commenting, liking and doing that stuff. And that's awesome. Shout out to you too, as always, love getting out of life and, just getting to, be a Dirty Bird family, man. Like this is like, I'll always say it. This is something very special to me. This is something that I love doing. It takes you out of life for a little bit, and you just get to talk about something that you're passionate about, something that you put time and energy and love into. And I love coming on and talking Falcon football with y'all. So shout out to y'all. Man, shout out to the Falcons, because if there are no Atlanta Falcons, there's no us, So shout out to the Falcons, shout out to the players, they're getting ready to gear up and, get things rolling, man. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to our time at the bins. Looking forward to all this stuff, man. I'm so jacked. Like preseason football, practice, I don't care. Helmets and
college football
pads, and I'm just so happy that football's almost here again. It's like a drug, man. It gets worse every off season, and just you kind of get the shakes, and you're just like, man, where's football coming back? But always, shout out to y'all, shout out to the viewers and stuff like that, and rise up.
Yes,
One more shout out from me. Shout out to high school football. We're 4 weeks away. I'm ready to cheer on my Pirates, baby. I'm excited.
Yes,
I love me some high school
football, man. Any
I
kind
love
of
some high
football
school football.
is good times, man. I want to give a shout out to everybody that's watched us tonight, man, that's came through and commented on this Friday night. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with DFU, man. We greatly appreciate y'all. As Philip and Cody said, we do not have a podcast if it isn't for you guys. We greatly, greatly appreciate y'all, man. Hit that subscribe button. Send us to a group. If you're in a Falcon group, share the podcast to a Falcon group, man. Get us out to other Falcon fans. We're at 407 when this podcast started. Not sure what we're at now. Maybe we gained some subscribers during the show. But shout out to all you guys, man. Get us to 500 before the season starts, man. That's the goal. It's always been the goal. 500 before week 1, man, and we looking right. Once again, shout out to everybody here. Shout out to all the new contestants coming on, interviewing for the 4th spot here as a co-host. Like I said, I can't appreciate you guys enough to want to be a part of this podcast, man. It really means a lot to me. It means a lot to my co-host as well. Something we started up, man. Want to bring positive Atlanta Falcon news and content to you guys. And that's what we do here for DFU, man. Stay tuned. A lot to come. Atlanta Falcons UK is going to be in the building next week. John Abraham, it may happen. Number 55, it may happen. John Abraham on here on the channel, man. It's going to be lit. Can't wait to see it happen, man. We are bringing you Falcon coverage daily, man. Hit that subscribe button. If you're watching this show afterwards, head over to YouTube, man. You see it right there. Hashtag DFU_ATL, man. That's all you have to type in. The subscription is free. Hit the subscribe button, man. Get us to 500. We greatly appreciate y'all. I want to give a shout out to my co-hosts, Philip and Cody, for taking the time out of their busy schedule to come on here and talk Falcon football. Nothing you guys do for this channel goes unnoticed. I want you guys to know that. I greatly appreciate my co-host when it comes to the podcast. I want to give a shout out to the big man upstairs, man. It's been kind of a rough week for me, going through a little bit of personal things, but hey, we're making it. We're here on the podcast Friday night, making this happen for you guys, not only for you guys, but for us as well, man. Once again, shout out to the wife. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Shout out to all the subscribers. Shout out to all the new subscribers as well, man. A lot to come. Catch us Tuesday, not Friday. Catch us Tuesday night at 8, and then you'll get us a little bit on Friday at 8, man. Bringing you some Falcon content, man. What we like to do here on the channel, man. Hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment. You're listening to Dirty Fanatics United. It's your boy, Cody, Phillip, and Chase. A-Town down. Rise up, baby.